A warning?
There ain't nothing to worry about.
I'm worried that you work in an office, have children, celebrate wedding anniversaries. The world of heterosexual is a sick and boring life.
Please, Lord, make me the biggest star the world has ever known, so that I may get far, far away from this place.
Caring for your family during these times is admirable, but you only get one take at this life.
If only they would just die.
Pardon?
Nothing. I want to be special, dancing up on the screen like the pretty girls in the pictures.
I will not let you leave this farm again.
I'm worried there may be something real wrong with me. Rumor has it they only take one gal per town.
We're looking for someone with X Factor.
Has to be me.
How about a film nobody else has seen?
Is it legal?
Will be eventually.
I know what I've done. Bad things. Terrible, awful, murderous things. I want to be loved from as many people as possible. But truth is, I'm not really a good person.
Welcome back to the show, listeners.
Welcome back.
Scott, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Well, you look like a star.
I am a star, Pete.
Do you feel like one?
Mm-hmm.
Listeners, I think this episode...
people are excited for this one.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. People are excited for this one. I think we all have thoughts on this movie. Will I be a lone dissenter? I don't know. We're going to find out. But I hope everybody's ready. My name's Pete.
And I'm Scott, and these are the movies that made us gay.
Yes, indeed.
We have to get right into it. Very special guest. Welcome back on the show, our friend Brad Liberti. Welcome back. Last on for Annie a few years ago.
Yes. Hi, guys.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. It's nice to be back.
Good. Yeah, it's great to have you.
So good to catch up with you. It's been a minute. So great to hear your voice.
Yeah.
So when I mentioned a few months ago that I wanted you back on the show, kind of the one movie that was on the top of your list was Pearl by Ty West. So I felt like we kind of had to do it.
I love it. I mean, instant classic already. I probably have seen this movie maybe, no joke, 8 times already since it's come out in, 2024?
2022.
Wow.
2022. Okay, all right. That feel better then.
Yeah, so this is only my second time watching it. And I felt like I was pretty late to this movie. I think that I watched it a little bit before Maxine came out, just because for some odd reason, I just kind of missed this movie. But so this is my second time watching it. And I have to say, I enjoyed it more on the second viewing than I did the first viewing.
I would totally agree, and I'm very happy to hear that. I think, I can see, Pete, you're still holding back a little bit, and I'm happy. We will discuss all that, and I do in no way think this is a perfect movie. Far from it. But there are certain magnetic qualities about this movie, and I think we will all agree, starting with Miss Mia Goth, just makes it so compellingly watchable and camp and fun and all the good stuff. But her performance.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let me get the specs out of the way. We watched Pearl, directed by Ty West, written by Ty West and Mia Goth, released September 16th, 2022. So I think that a lot of what makes this movie really interesting is that this was kind of the big COVID experiment of 2020, because this was shot back to back with Ty West's X. So from kind of reading about it, it looks like they just kind of came up with this movie on the fly as they were prepping to make X. And I think that's when they did the script. They were filming this in New Zealand in 2020, one of the rare countries that were actually shooting feature films, because this was around the time that the new Avatar movie was being shot, which I know they used a lot of the same crew of the Way of Water, the Avatar movie, just people in New Zealand making films. So they shot this back-to-back with X, and very interesting. I remember when we saw X in the theater and kind of seeing the little preview for Pearl at the very end of the movie,
at the end,
and just kind of thinking like, what the hell have we gotten ourselves into with these movies?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Brad, talk about your first time seeing, going back to X and then seeing Pearl and your initial reaction to it.
So that it's so funny because I was about to ask you guys. So I'll start with me. My Pearl is my first entry into this triple. But I can't even think of the word for, you know what I'm saying. Trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Pearl. And honestly, it's like Instagram farmer, Instagram mining. I just seeing Mia Goth and the trailers for it. I had heard of X, but not enough to really see it. I know you guys are horror guys, and I can get there, but not always. So X had kind of come and gone. But this one, just something about the wacky, zany, her, holding the axe, dancing with the chickens and the ducks. I was like, I have to go see this. I did not see it in the theater, but I think it was soon on VOD, like right after. It came out in like September, and I think by Christmas it was out. And so instantly. So I would say that I saw it that first year, and Ed just was instantly transfixed, like from the start, and then went back and watched X, and then saw Maxine in the theater. I have thoughts about all of them, to be honest.
Well, okay, so where did you fall on X, Pete? Because we saw that.
What were my thoughts?
We saw that in the theater. I remember we saw that opening weekend at City Walk.
Right. So my thoughts on X. I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, this is giving me kind of like exploitation, like horror, kind of pastiche almost, in that it's really kind of taking from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and what we find out later on in this trilogy is that each one kind of like is pulling from a different genre, right? Later on with Maxine, it's very much giving Angel.
Yeah.
Angel, is it that movie about the girl in Hollywood? Mm-hmm. Which is great. I think I like anytime a movie is going to give somebody who cares the kind of impetus to say, oh, this is based on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Maybe I haven't seen that yet, so maybe I'll go watch that. Oh, I heard people talk about this movie Angel from the early 80s. I haven't seen that. Let me go watch it. It's on Tubi.
Or kind of with Pearl, kind of discovering 50s melodramas.
Right.
And the obvious Wizard of Oz pulse.
Right. Yeah. So, but what I remember mostly from first seeing X in the theater was thinking, that was really fun. I enjoyed that. But you know what? The reaction was so strong for it at the time. People were kind of like losing their minds, just like, "Oh my god, have you seen this movie? Have you seen this movie? Mia Goth, what a revelation!" And I was just like, I think for me, maybe I had a little bit more fun in the theater at Barbarian.
Sure.
Right.
The granny exploitation wasn't quite doing it for you. An X.
The granny exploitation, the hagsploitation was fun, but there was something about Barbarian to me was a little bit more of a bigger spectacle, and I was like, everybody's sleeping on this movie, yet everyone is going crazy for X, which I enjoyed, but I just was like, that was fun.
She fed the baby both times, right?
She did.
Whether it was the crocodile or but I hear what you're saying. For me, I would say I think X is the most stylishly assured of them all as a filmmaker for Ty West. And then I have, my own thoughts on him as a filmmaker as well. But I would say it's the most stylishly assured, and I think the casting was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was, I think they did a good job with some up-and-comers at the time. Obviously, Jenna Ortega. There's some old favorites with Brittany, and then I think with Mia, I think it was a good stunt, kind of what they pulled. But for me, the story itself, it's very classic slasher.
Yeah.
Does not elevate in a way where there was no shock to it that I was so blown away, or it's actually my least favorite of the three. But I am not a classic horror, fan. It just was not enough,
right?
But
and I think the initial revelation of like, oh, that's fully Mia Goth. Like that is actually.
I don't know if I knew it until I had left the movie theater.
That
too.
was something fun, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that you remember, and you're like, okay, this is a cool little kind of a stunt. But kind of, you mentioned having thoughts about Ty West as a filmmaker. I mean, the first thing that I really saw of his was The Innkeepers, and man, did I really want to like that movie more. You know what I mean? I felt like The Innkeeper was such a slow burn that I just was like, I'm not going to say it left a bad taste in my mouth when it came to his name, but I was very much like, oh boy, that movie was horror, air quotes, horror movie. And I was not scared. So,
I mean, I'll say and admittedly, aside from this trilogy, I've not seen anything he did in the fact that it has not made me want to go see. I feel like the best thing about this trilogy is that he did was discover Mia Goth, and who knows if he discovered, and honestly, and who knows how I think I was perhaps a little fractious. Who knows? I've tried to stay away a little bit from the backstory to it because I do love the actual story, in my mind, like Pearl exists, she really did become, an nymphomaniac killer on on a farm, but there was a story and Maxine went on. So I like to think that the three do exist, even though I do feel like aside from Pearl, I don't see myself watching the other two over and over again the way I do with Pearl.
Sure. I think when we went to go see Maxine, the two of us, Scott and I both were very much like...
And Donovan came with, friend of the pod.
Right, and Donovan was with us. But when we saw it, that was such a... I think we were both like, that was really fun. I don't know that it's our favorite of the three, but at the time, seeing it, our immediate reaction was just like, okay, it's cool, like early 80s LA. Like then we started kind of putting together the ties with, like we said, the movie Angel.
The Palma movies. Yeah.
And all of that. And we were like, okay, that was a lot of fun. But now I kind of am thinking about it, and I just think visually watching Pearl, it's just like, I just want to applaud the fact that like it looks beautiful.
It's very well shot.
It's so well shot. It's like the colors are amazing. I would say I'm just like, we can see everything.
100%.
And it just doesn't look like these kind of like muddy modern movies that people have problems
I think
with.
what a lot of the charm is for Pearl for me is that there's something that looks very made outside of the studio system about it. And that's what I think is really cool about it, is that it doesn't look like a polished movie from Universal or Paramount. I mean, this is A24, so A24 is kind of the cool kid in the lunchroom in the Hollywood Studios table. But I think this movie almost has a thesis film quality about it, that this is kind of a film student's like big opus, and this is what they made.
Yeah. Which
I think looks really cool.
I might never look at it again, Scott. That's interesting. I really agree with that. That's a funny. You know what? Too. I mean, for me personally, of the three, it's. I agree 100% with what both of you said, but I also think that it's the only one that has, dare I say, a heart to it.
Yeah.
There's something about the story that really resonates. Yes, we don't all. Well, maybe we do want to murder everyone who gets in our way. But life is fucking unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair. And like, you want to have a breakdown sometimes and really lose your mind over it. And to me, that alone, the story is simple. The story can, but like the way it builds to that is just something that I could watch over and over and over again and really fantasize about having that temper tantrum in many aspects of my life,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, I think this movie resonates a lot with people of a certain age, right? I think a lot of younger people are kind of taking up for this movie, and I think it's this idea of just kind of like, I mean, it is a very, the story is that, Pearl has, like, she's, her parents are immigrants, they're German immigrants, they're very like first generation, just like pick yourself up by your bootstraps, and this is our life, and it's very like Spartan.
Don't be selfish.
Yeah, but
sacrifice.
But I think Pearl's point of view is very like kind of like modern American, of just like rejecting the like, well, you have to do this, and this is your life, like it or lump it. And Pearl's just like, no, I want to follow my dream.
I want to get off this farm because I don't want to end up like you.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. And so, I mean, nowadays we see a lot of younger people kind of, like we talked about before, like rejecting this grind culture, rejecting the kind of like work a day, like situation that like our parents or boomers or grandparents or whatever kind of like strove for. And we're just like, no, I can, I'm going to make a living traveling around town and dancing in theaters. Right. And this is the what year is it? 1918.
1918.
Like,
World War I. Right. This is like the World War I version of like becoming a TikTok star, I guess. Just like, I'm going to do my little dances and then people are going to like it, and I'm going to be happy, and I'm not going to have to, get a real job.
A star is born, or a star isn't born. Right.
I also think this movie's fascination with Pearl's love for cinema is so interesting, because when you look at that time in pop culture, it's like, what were movies at that time? That I was just kind of thinking, like, what is Pearl going to see when she goes to Clark Kent's little movie theater? And these kind of, 3-hour long silent movies.
Would it be like Rudolph Valentino, or like those kind of Tyrone Power?
I think so.
Like those silent, like, right?
Cinema was so new at that time that, it would have been a novelty for some, that maybe some people didn't think it would stick around for all that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
movie has Pearl goes to, as we know where that she's watching.
Yeah. Oh man, that was amazing. I was like, ooh, that's one of those old timey pornos.
And it's it's that theme of adult cinema that Ty West has in all of these movies too, is just kind of the early days of pornography too, which is fascinating.
And what I like about this one, I get the stylistic, like Brian De Palma Leary kind of the fascination of that kind of the sexy hooker on the street. But what I like about this one is like, who knows, or for me personally, you understand that the French kind of erotic cinema as, I want to get out of this town. Whatever that means, whatever the world of knowledge, the apple is, I want to just get out of this town. I want to experience my life for myself and not what my parents or whoever have, put on me. So it's a funny kind of campy aspect to it, but I think for this, it works. And I guess, would they have shown pre-code? Yeah, they would have probably had.
Yeah.
Film like that, right?
He mentioned that it was illegal, so I think it's just like, I think stag films like that, maybe, you had to go to specific, maybe an underground movie theater, but the gator that she has is named Theta, and that's named after Theda Bara, the silent film actress.
And there's the star of Cleopatra, and there's a Cleopatra poster at the movie house.
For Cleopatra. Cleopatra, starring Theda Bara, came out in 1917. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes long. In 1917, Theda Bara starred in no less than 7 moving pictures.
Wow.
These broads were out there working, like they were pumping these movies out, and these were not like, I kind of had Scott, you mentioned these movies being like 3 hours long. Some of them are over 2 hours, some of them are under an hour.
Okay.
But it's the infancy of like quote unquote long form, like story, motion pictures with a story. We're moving out of like Millier's, like, hey, there's kind of a story,
kind
but
of
about
post
12 minutes
post
long.
Birth of a Nation.
Yeah.
Yes. And you aren't competing with TikTok videos. You're competing with long novels where the first 100 pages are just setting up exposition. You know, no one was in a rush.
Yeah, yeah.
With entertainment.
It's so wild, though. Like, just kind of a little off topic here.
That's okay.
When she does go into town and she's at the movie theater and you see the Cleopatra poster and she's in that alley and all the, like, these pipes. And the pipes are all painted different colors. Like, it's just this very bright, colorful image, but it's an alleyway. And it's literally pipes behind a building. And one of them's, like, pink. And one of them's, like, sky blue. And you're just like, that has to be on purpose. Like, did they really look? I'm sure, like, he did some research and maybe they really did look like that. I don't know why you would make that choice otherwise, other than this is a quote-unquote Technicolor movie, right?
Yeah.
So we're showing off our Technicolor like skills. But I don't know. I think maybe cities might have looked like that. Who knows? Everything we have is in black and white. But I was just like, holy shit, this is crazy. They are set dressing this town to look kind of nuts, but I love it. Mm-hmm. Did you notice that?
I mean, maybe her life, she's kind of hallucinating through,
Sure.
She's out of the house.
Yeah.
She's kind of hallucinating. You know, she's breathing fresh air. I mean, that alone, you know, I think it's all kind of a fever dream.
That also makes sense. That also makes sense. I'm gonna find some images of this stupid alley.
It could be, yeah. That's a good point.
But yeah, also like her red dress. You're talking about like dancing around in the field with the farm animals, but she's also dancing around with that scarecrow. You know, and Scott made this point the other night of like, if Dorothy had never gone to Oz.
Yeah, if Dorothy never made it off the farm, would she have turned into Pearl?
Perhaps.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could see this as a weird Judy Garland vehicle if they were making crazy movies like this in the 30s.
It's like A Star is Born meets Carrie a little bit. It certainly got Carrie vibes. I think it owes a little obvious. I don't know. My biggest issue just with Ty West is just I don't feel his ideas are super original. I think that this owes a lot to Carrie, kind of structurally between her relationship with her mom. But again, the way it's done and the way Mia Goth can't really help but be camp, but also in a very like realistic way that's kind of odd and unique to her. It just all works for me while being ridiculous. You know, it might be my Showgirls. Who knows yet? You know, it's new. I don't think it's as terrible of a movie as that. Like I said, I think accidentally they struck gold a little bit here.
Yeah.
You know,
but you know, I remember Scorsese like making statements of what a huge fan he was of this movie.
Like I said, there's something about it, and her. I think when I say they struck gold, she, not by accident, I think she brings a part to her of herself to this movie. I think there's something fresh in that. There's something 70s. There's something older. There's not someone talking to Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show and just I don't know. There's something fresh about her, and you could feel it in this movie, and you could feel that there's something a little scary too.
I think that Mia Goth is really fascinating because you can kind of see she's a bit of a weirdo. Just like her as a person is a bit of a weirdo, 100%. And she brings that to a character like Pearl. She does have a co-writing credit on this movie, and I would be curious to find out what exactly she's responsible for of the script. Maybe it's a lot of her dialogue that she just kind of,
her monologue.
That she just kind of, did she come up with all of this on the fly? I don't know. Like, is this all sort of improv? All of this kooky character work?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that during the monologue. I was like, I was thinking like, I bet she wrote this entire piece, or if not, you know, kind of like you
when
said,
she's talking to the sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I mean, right there, that scene alone elevates. And I remember reading the reviews and being like, I don't mean to be mean, but had she had a good director, she'd probably have gotten an Oscar nomination for that. It's just, she did that sounds terrible. I think she was not set up in the best way possible with that. But I think what she brought to that was fantastic, and they captured something real that, whether or not has murderous intent, and obviously let's hope she doesn't.
Right.
There's something about Pearl's story that she relates to, that I relate to, that we all kind of, relate to.
I'm trying to think of the first movie I ever saw Mia Goth in, and it was probably Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac. I think that was probably one of the early things that I saw her in, and I think that was around the time she started to date Shia LaBeouf, too, who I used to walk by Shia LaBeouf's house a lot in Pasadena, and I remember seeing her in the driveway once. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You should have gone up and said hi. Do you know I saw her on maybe it was Seth Meyers, where she said that it's to basically stalk Amy Winehouse and go to her house every single day.
Oh my God.
And literally they're like, but not one day she went up and rang the doorbell, assuming that no one would be there. And Amy Winehouse answered like the door. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
So yes, so I think she's a little quirky.
Yeah.
And her choices, exactly, Nymphomaniac, and the way that kind of is how she burst onto the scene,
Yeah.
Remember the marketing for that, where they were all making their orgasm films?
Yeah, they're all doing their
No thanks.
I mean, that was that was a big movie. I mean, when I'm looking at her filmography, she had done TV work before, but that's her first major movie. I had to review that movie.
She was a model.
I had to review that movie for that website that we used to write for. I think that I did part 1, and I had to go back for part 2 a month later. And I remember just thinking, like, I don't have it in me to write a review for part 2. And I initially liked volume 1, but I don't know. Volume 2, I was just like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we feel about some fans were kind of feeling like Pearl is kind of like a Joker for women?
I mean, I guess. I kind of feel like Joker for women is more Cruella.
Or Aunt Gladys. I feel like Pearl walked so Aunt Gladys could run.
Okay.
I mean, like, they're in the same vein. They're both like not really well realized characters. Let's be honest. I think Weapons is super overrated too.
Yeah.
But that actors brought something to the role that just like elevated it beyond what it is on paper, beyond what their motivations are on paper, beyond like their lack of real mode, and it just brought something super real. So maybe it's female rage, but I think it's rage at unfairness in life.
Yeah.
Why is it them? Why, you can hear as much as you want. That's like, obviously once you're over the age of 5, it doesn't do anything to feel that way, but it doesn't change the fact that no one really knows why. Why, you know what I mean? Why is it this person and not that person? Why is this person born this way and not that person? And I think, like I said, I don't think Ty West was mining for that, but I think that with Mia, with everything together, they struck that in this movie, and you see it in her performance.
Yeah. It's very interesting, the context, like, in which this movie was released, right? In 2022, we're kind of coming out of like lockdowns. We're kind of getting back to quote unquote like normal, right? And this is one of the only movies where kind of the pandemic is referenced at all. And, it's interesting because like before the COVID pandemic, like, did any of us know like about Spanish
it wasn't
flu?
really talked about a lot. Mm-hmm.
That people were wearing masks and, forced inside and public gatherings and all that stuff. And so being that that's on all of our minds, the entire world, we're going to work it into this movie, and we're all going to have this kind of like tenseness about it, right? And it adds to the tension of the movie, and just the visual of Pearl and her mother wearing these masks. I'm wondering how that's going to age, because eventually there's going to be a generation of kids who either will have forgotten or won't remember.
I think that it helps that this movie's a period piece too.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I think like throughout any time, what is, and who knows, maybe I'm just seeing this movie a little too much, and I just have murderous intent, and and I'm looking for universal themes. But I do think what I relate is like when there are times of crisis, you or the people around you either reach out or you retract into each other. And I think that there's something that, she's trying to reach out, and clearly Mama's not having that. I love the visual of the pig rots out on the before she take it. And I know that kind of mentality. That's like my Hungarian grandparent. Like they'd rather die before put their hand out for anything.
Sure.
And it's like, there's something interesting in that kind of militant rigidness that perhaps, and that Pearl's trying to break from too. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe people won't. But I think some of those themes transcend, pandemic,
Yeah. But it's so funny because we're watching the movie the other night preparing for this. And at one point I was just like, is this camp? I was like, this is camp, right? Like they know what they're doing. This isn't just, this is horror, but this is camp, right? Because the first half of the movie, it's tense, but there's not a. I feel like the bloodiness doesn't happen until halfway through. I feel like, and the first part is a lot of buildup. It's a lot of tension and all that. But then at one point, I was like, this is also campy.
Sure,
but we love it.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Like
there's a Mary Catherine Gallagher vibe.
It's a little. I think that. Our friend Ben wrote on Letterboxd, it's as if Lizzie Borden made a trip to the farm from Pee-wee's.
From Big Top Pee-wee?
From Big Top Pee-wee.
Sure, yeah, because that's the thing. I'm like, okay, I'm getting Lizzie Borden, obviously. Because, I don't know, what does it say about, like, my, like, crazy mentality when I'm just like, okay, she killed a goose. I'm like, she lives on a farm.
It's one of the signs of a serial killer. Yeah,
but you
start with farm animals.
But she lives on a farm. Don't you have to kill animals?
Do you know how
on
many
a farm?
goose's heads she's cut off? Yeah.
I'm like, this is her gig.
The little alligator needed to eat. Mm-hmm.
You're right. Exactly. How do we know? That's the circle of life. She was trying to feed Theta.
Or
Theta's mom.
Yeah.
I did get really excited that it had been a while since I had seen X when I first watched Pearl, and I got really excited when I saw Theta.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, there's a fucking alligator in that pond.
Living in that fucking pond.
And honestly, like, euthanasia is real,
right?
Too, with her dad. And there are moments. I agree, and I don't know that they know the tone. Like one of the saddest scene is the mom's crying in bed, loud, like screaming, and you're just like, if you go into that mindset and think about what that life really is like, it just really is quite sad. But then we murder her really quickly, and spoiler alert, sorry. We move on, and so there is. I think it kind of veers into camp, maybe at the right points.
Yeah,
sure,
yeah, because there is some pathos, like you said, with the mother crying, and then when you do see the father, kind of like with his eyes, you're like, oh, he is in there. He does know what's going on, and he's kind
100%.
of aware of it, and is freaking the hell out because he's trapped in this body and in this chair, in that chair. So there's those moments of pathos, but then it does get a little,
my daughter's trying to pump up on me, push me into the water, and
feed me to the gator.
They'll death roll you before they eat you.
I think if I'm this dad in this lock-in syndrome, I'm just like, feed me to the gator. I think I'm ready to go.
She says, she's like, this is no kind of life.
Yeah,
you're not living.
Yes.
she's like, I'm freeing you. What do we think?
Progressive woman.
Yes. What do we think of pre-Superman?
Okay, I wanted to have the David. I wanted to have the corny conversation. I remember
that's why the pipes were rainbow colored.
Yeah,
honestly, I don't even notice them. I'm looking at.
You're just looking at that ass.
I think that when all of us watch this kind of right after X because we both watched it at home. I think that we both got out our phones and Googled who is this projectionist? Oh,
who's that giant man?
He's the new Superman. Had you seen Ryan Murphy's Hollywood? That was something that we bailed pretty early on.
Yeah,
that I don't remember a lot of it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's funny, but yet in that he didn't pop. In this, and that's another thing about the casting in this movie.
Yeah.
Because you saw him and you were like, okay, this isn't is it CW? I had to remember now because I'm so old now. This isn't one of those soap boys that just got a role. This is this is the movie star. Who is this?
Yeah.
And I totally agree. And you could kind of see, how she would really be upset if he looked her in the eyes and then lied to her,
I think this character is written really interesting because there's nothing ever that goes, I don't know. How do I phrase this? There's nothing really that wicked about this man.
He's not as problematic as he could be.
He's not as problematic as he could be. That's it, I think.
Yeah.
And then 100%. When he finally does see oh, this bitch crazy. I need to I need to hightail it out of here. Did he lie to her? Did he ever say he's going to take her to Europe? I
think he's been enjoying seducing the women while their husbands are away.
Yeah, I think he's...
So I think, not evil, but,
Yeah, he sees, she's this hayseed. Like you said, her husband's away. She may seem a little... naive or innocent or whatever.
Wide-eyed and,
Yeah. So he's there for that, which is, maybe not the most on the level thing ever. But, when she does kind of switch, it's like we're saying, did he ever say oh yeah, baby, me and you, I'm going to take you to Europe?
Is it this relationship that she's creating in her head?
Exactly.
Yeah.
She made it more than it ever was.
Are you trying to say Pearl is crazy?
I'm
hold on a second. Hold on.
A little
Pearl
delusion
makes up in her head.
So, but I think it is interesting of that character because maybe we do expect him at the beginning to be okay, this guy's a bad guy or bad boy, whatever. Watch out for him. I find his period costuming very interesting. His pants have that little break in the back.
Oh, sure. I mean, there's something about corny girl that really looks like he's from another time. He doesn't have a contemporary face, which I really like too.
Yes. And he has that kind of, in my imagination, that accent from that time.
Right, yeah.
Who knows if it's real, but he's got researched it.
Yeah, he's got the mustache, the haircut you could set your watch to, and then he's doing the little bit of the Mid-Atlantic thing going on. And
100%.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he's already started bulking up for Superman because I feel like he's a little skinnier in Twister. Right. In Twister, you're oh, okay, this guy's handsome. He's a little bit of a beanpole.
Yeah, I don't know if he had been cast in Superman
quite
before he stared making this, but I don't know though.
But yeah, he just looks like a giant hunk of man. And
100%. And they have real chemistry. There's something so otherworldly about her, but then she locks in with her co-stars in ways they have you could see that how he could be a heartbreaker.
I mean, I remember seeing her in Suspiria and just being oh my god, that face, she's just
she's very unusual looking.
Yeah, she's very cool looking.
Mm-hmm. She was a high fashion model too before acting.
Yeah,
which weirdly too kind of works for her, but without being untouchable too. I don't know. I'm so interested by that.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I don't think of her as a model turned actress too. That I think that she just kind of settled in.
Exactly, like Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman was
an
actress too, and you don't really feel it exactly with that. And plus, just her Goth. I mean, her last name is Goth.
I know, right?
You can't.
So. I have to be fully transparent. There was a brief moment where I was I'm not on board with her because of that whole weird.
It was all the stories about the making of Maxine, right?
I don't know. I don't remember what making of it was.
I think it was Maxine.
But somebody was accusing her of like bullying.
It was an extra.
Like all this stuff.
Yeah, stomping an extra on their face.
But then it turned out to be
right?
complete bullshit, right?
Oh, it was bogus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, they had like 5 extras testify for her.
Yeah.
All the cast and crew were like, "That's complete bullshit."
Okay, that makes me feel a little better then.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gone off bigger. And obviously, she's got like she's working now. With
Yeah,
every
she's still
A-list
working.
director
Yeah.
on huge. And Guillermo del Toro couldn't say enough about her.
Yes.
I don't think Nolan would have her on set if this was real. I think this is smear. I think it's related to Shia. I agree with all that. You know, Shia is a different story. I don't know their relationship. But I don't think personally that it's real.
Yeah.
You know,
Did she end up having a kid with Shia?
Yes,
Yeah,
they're still
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
They're still together too. Yeah,
Maybe like an on again, off again type of thing.
Who knows?
I think so.
But but as far as the allegations of the bullying and the abuse and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure it was debunked, and this guy does not have a lot of credibility. And after I kind of read about that, I was like, okay, I'm coming back around. I'm coming back around because you hear about those things. It puts a bad taste in your mouth, right? So,
being mean to extras,
or just to anybody,
or hurting them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
there's something kind of like camp and over the top.
Yes,
but no, we don't condone that.
Ty West did say that he had her watch Whatever Happened to Baby Jane before.
I mean, you can't tell me Joan Crawford never kicked an extra. No.
I mean, I would love to watch this movie with either Bet and Joan, just to hear their thoughts about Mia.
I was going to say Joan Crawford kicked Betty Davis.
Mm-hmm. There was someone actress I heard. Maybe it was Karen Gillan, or one of them was like that was their favorite performance was her in this. Like I said, I think that she is so unvarnished. You're right. It's like a student film. Like she is so unvarnished and so kind of raw.
Yeah.
But perhaps not captured at the level of like expertise that I'm hoping, like her new level of directors are doing, you know. And they are. I think Frankenstein acquitted her nicely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
interesting because this movie did have a lot of hype, right? And when you see something post-hype, it all,
Yeah, and I definitely saw this post-hype.
It never lives up to expectations, right? Like something like Weapons, right? After the hype, you watch it and you're like, that's it.
We saw Weapons at kind of the perfect sweet spot, which was Thursday night at 6:00.
Yeah.
When nobody was really talking about it.
So we walked out screaming, just like, oh my God, that was crazy. But, upon further review, maybe it's not.
It's just the motivations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are for, like, I do like, a little more. I like to understand what the like even Barbarian. And I'll be honest, I've only read the script of Barbarian. That's what I do with horror movies. I have to read the script first to see if it's too scary for me to watch.
Yeah. Oh my God, Brad, when we saw Barbarian at the Sunset 5 in West Hollywood.
Oh my God.
Pete and I remember screams in theater, like
screaming.
A full out scream,
like shrieking in the theater. Like,
and I think that I just laughed to myself and was just like, I can't believe this shit.
It was crazy. It was a crazy moment in the movie, but that's the thing.
But there's a camp like this. Horror camp is kind of fun. This like fine line of horror camp that's like out, but or certainly that that Weapons and Barbarian and Pearl or the X, the whole trilogy, really, But I guess there is something so campy about horror.
I mean, Maxine has some campy moments. Her walking through the goddamn Universal Studios backlot.
Yeah.
In those acid wash jeans.
I mean, again, and weirdly, it's so funny. Maxine, I haven't seen since the theater.
Yeah.
There was something exactly like you said. Like, it's same as X. I was like, I left being like, that was fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Oh, Halsey looked pretty.
Right. I was trying to
Halsey.
remember of how is the scene in Maxine shot of when she's going to read for Elizabeth Debicki at the beginning of the movie when she goes to the lot, and they're all sitting in chairs, and it kind of looks like the audition moment in Pearl. And I was wondering, did they try to match that scene?
I'm sure they
to
did.
look like that moment. I'll have to go back. Yeah. And when she leaves it, she's just
go
like, "Go home,
Yep.
go home."
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yep. And she just looks so fantastic. I mean, like from when those shots, those stills came out from it, I gay gasped. I mean, her and Halsey on the boulevard. Yeah. I was so ready. I wanted to love it more. Yeah. I don't, again, none the other two just don't hit me the way Pearl does. Like Pearl, it is now required watching every Halloween. That's like October we watch it. And usually I'll throw it on like one time before, like this time, obviously I watched it this week, but I try to watch it maybe twice a year now.
It's a very summery movie. It's very bright.
It just makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. You know what
I mean? I will say, her big monologue with Mitzi at the table inside the house.
Oh,
Mitzi. It's such a I love Mitzi. It's such a choice to just be like, we're gonna just follow. We're gonna be on you.
Yeah, there's no reaction shots with Misty.
There's no reaction shots from Mitzi. But then when it finally does cut to her, she's just like, I'm gonna go. That shit sent me.
I mean, her eyes when she pulls in suddenly and just pulls out of that like monologue.
Yeah,
and just you could tell like recognizes Mitzi and cuts to Mitzi. Oh god. Yeah.
Oh my god.
100%. Yeah, it was terrifying actually, but really kind of funny too. That or the smile at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't decide what is more of a like. You know how like they'll say like actors are athletes? It's like this movie you see the athletic side of her acting and her muscle face, or what she can do with it.
Right. And a lot of our deep dive research, IMDb trivia, just says that he didn't cut it. He didn't cut. He's just like, all right, keep going. And he's not yelling cut, so she's just still there. And eventually, then a tear comes out of one eye, and then it just starts getting crazier and crazier. But it's kind of it's moving, like it's really effective.
100%. Kind of comes out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
Like had I not read reviews a little bit and kind of heard of a monologue, I would not have been expecting it in it, which again, I think as we've kind of talked about is what's so unique about this movie. It's just like, it's not what you're expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a moment after, Mitzi and it's right after Mitzi, but it's right before the very, very end of the movie, right before the husband comes home. And I was just like, it faded to black for a second. And I thought it was like the end. I was like, oh, credits. I was like, this better not be the goddamn end of this movie. I don't know. I still kind of felt that way once we did get to the end. I was like, all right, that's it. But I guess that makes it shocking, right? And that it's just like he just walks in the door and he's just like, what the hell did I do?
How else were you going to end this movie?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to play Pam Bondi and then deflect and say, what does 259 mean in weapons? They never explain anything in weapons either. No one has to ever explain anything.
What does that gun mean?
Like, what is the whole point? Like, and also they have to eat. Who is cleaning their poop and piss? Like, excuse me, I totally agree with you there. And also, like, why does the husband stay?
Right.
On the next Oprah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is
because
the
they're
husband
not his parents? Those are her parents.
So is the husband in X then?
But his sister, Mitzi.
Yeah, the sister's Mitzi, right?
Is the husband?
Yeah, that's his sister.
But is the husband in X?
Yeah, isn't there?
Yeah.
What's the setup of that relationship? Yeah. So he's there.
And he's enterprising. He makes money off the that's him. That makes the money off the farm. That lets them film there.
Yeah, I forgot because I haven't watched X in a while, but I was like, that's him. He's in it. Yeah.
That's him. Yeah. He's the one that says like my wife's a little, got some stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Pearl had to have some help to cover all of this up too, for when 100%. The police do come to the farm.
100%. Well, do they come to the farm? It's the pandemic.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But I mean,
We won't even get into,
I don't know. Yeah.
culturally back then who would even be considered that could murder or do things like that. So, realistically, she could have easily gotten away with it.
All they need to do is just come and have a conversation with the man of the house, and if it all checks out, you're good to go.
100%.
I mean, yeah, all he needs to say is like, Dad died. We buried him. We got a farm, so we just buried him. We don't have the money for a funeral, so they're sorry. Was that illegal? Oops.
This is still, it's like 20 years around the Ripper, when they thought he couldn't do it because a civilized white guy wouldn't kill him.
Right.
It's just like, so there's nothing. They had to say, I'm a white man in the South. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's sad, but that's probably one of the most realistic aspects of it is her getting away with it. And if you have a crocodile, we know that from Carol Baskin. You need a crocodile.
I always get really excited when I see the reveal of that crocodile or the alligator. Mm-hmm. It's a good weird script device character of when you need to take care of something that there's a gator out back that we can just feed him to.
Yes, you're right.
I thought it was interesting when the mom, on the one hand, we get I found this movie bill or whatever. So it's I know you're going to the movies, right? That's one thing that the mom's I know you're going to the movies. You're spending money on the money we don't have. You're the movies are demonic or whatever. There's that one reveal. But then the mom's straight up I know what you're doing. I know that you're fucking
sneaking out,
but not just that, killing some of the animals and doing weird shit, and, doing evil demonic shit. The mom's I know you're nuts, and you're getting worse. Yeah. And so what about that? I thought that was very interesting that the mom, I didn't see that coming. I thought the mom was going to be I know about the movies and I know you're being a harlot and painted up hussy or whatever. But I didn't think that the mom was going to be oh, I see, you're a kook and I see it. And I know it. And, the other shoe's going to drop at some point, and that is I'm going to set you on fire, I guess. But
yeah.
I thought that was an interesting take on the mom, because that's another reason that the mom is also feels trapped, right? The whole thing about this man that I married him. I'm his wife. I'm not his mother, and now I have a daughter who's a psychopath. I'm
the Omen.
Or kind of the experience of an immigrant at that time coming to America expecting this changed life that's going to be easier.
It's just as hard here.
It's just as hard in America than it was back in Germany.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, a German villager that comes to a small village in America, anything that's beyond what they know is going to be a crazy demonic possession devil, so I think there's probably a ramping up of tension between the two of them. But I still contend that the mother is the most tragic character because really, has no onus and has no way of getting out of it. And then ultimately, I guess she gets out of it.
Yeah.
So I remember there being a lot of film, Twitter, and Instagram discussion with people that saw this movie kind of really wanting Mia Goth to go all of the way to get that Oscar nomination. I think that was always going to be that was probably never going to happen.
Yeah.
With this movie. But Brad, I'm going to read you the Best Actress category in 2023, and you have to get rid of one for Mia Goth. Who are you taking off? So this is the year Michelle Yeoh wins for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Kate Blanchett for Tar. Ana de Armas for Blonde. This is the Andrea Riseborough year, where she was kind of the big late breaker for To Leslie.
I loved me that movie, so I'm still I stand by dear Leslie.
And Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans. Who are you getting rid of?
Michelle Williams, who I loved to death, but I couldn't watch that movie because I hated that wig. So I'm getting rid of Michelle Williams and that wig. And I know it was based on Steven Spielberg's mom, but I don't care. Michelle Williams, it was not. And you know what, Bob? It was wrong, Bob. So Michelle Williams needs to get out of there so Mia can get in there.
I think I can respect that. That's probably my that's probably who I would nix as well. I was not that into the Fabelmans. And I think that Michelle Williams is just doing way too much in that movie.
Yeah.
So I would probably nix Michelle also.
And if you do a Steven Spielberg movie, your paycheck is your win. You know what I mean? You got the studio experience. You made a movie like they used to make 40 years ago.
Yeah,
Someone probably peeled the skins off your grape, and then 3 people carried it to you. Like, you don't need an award for a Steven Spielberg movie, you know? So yes, but we still love Michelle Williams. We do.
Yeah, Fabelmans was corny.
Yeah.
I thought it was corny, and I thought her performance was.
I remember To Leslie kind of giving me some Red Rocket vibes. If maybe Red Rocket, if Simon Rex was a little more redeemable.
That's too funny. Yeah,
as a person, yeah.
I was expecting to hate it and just kind of put it on as like, oh God, I'm going to watch an actress flex. But Andrea Riseborough, I mean, she's just so interesting to me. She's another one that's really, really interesting to watch. A little more staid than certainly a Mia Goth and much more of the Shakespearean track. But I liked To Leslie. To Leslie, I said, Dear Leslie, to Leslie. I really liked it. I shed a few tears during that movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
You know? And I did think her performance was Oscar worthy. Hey, Kate, what's her name, is nominated this year for a Neil Diamond movie. So come on.
I called that nomination in October, by the way. When I saw that trailer, I knew it was happening.
What do you think that is? Just like, thank you for being Hollywood lapdog for so long. And just like not complaining too much.
Maybe some Hollywood royalty. I think that movie, that Neil Diamond movie, is just catnip for boomers that I think a certain age just loves that movie. And if you've seen it, Kate is really good in it. Doing her Midwestern drag performance.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I would say if you it is on Peacock right now, I would give it a watch. Okay. I think she's really good.
Okay. Better than Elle Fanning in Predator Badlands, because I watched that and I effing loved that.
We did too. We enjoyed
the gay Predator.
Mm-hmm. It was so good. Yeah, we just watched it last night. Sorry, I was like I couldn't believe how much I loved it.
I mean, I would probably support Elle Fanning make it in for Predator Badlands over Sentimental Value, a movie that I really liked. I don't know if she really needs that Oscar nomination.
Interesting. I gotta see it. That's on my list.
Just a side note, I saw something on Threads and it said, woke Disney robs us yet again, and it was Elle Fanning and like her, her legs are cut off in the movie. And then it was a wide shot of Elle in like a formal gown.
What do you think of the moment, the big song and dance moment? I think it's pretty well done.
Her audition.
What do I think of what do I think of the morning? What do I think of sugar on? What do I think of a cupcake? I mean, like it is.
They do a pretty good job with it. It's great. Mm-hmm.
And you can set any music to it and make a meme. It's like the best. Too. I'm telling you, any music you can make a meme to it, and it's the best.
Yeah,
no, it's good.
I mean, doesn't kind of Joan Crawford have that backstory, that very Pearl backstory, that Joan Crawford from poverty, and she kind of made her way up as a dancing girl and just started making movies. Like she came from nothing, and she started pretty much the way that Pearl wants to become a star. Isn't that Joan's story?
100%. Yeah. Yep. Texas. Mm-hmm. From Texas, dancing, and then to New York, and then from there. But I think that's a lot of the stories for how else would you make it? You know? You wouldn't. A respectable girl. I think Grace Kelly's probably one of the only ones from a quote unquote respectable family that wasn't raised in Hollywood at that generation that became was an actress.
Right.
And I think Grace had tension with her parents because of it. So it was mostly young girls dreaming of vaudeville. dancers, things like that.
Well, like Judy Garland started, like she was a child star, so it was like her parents kind of pushing her. She was the Gummer sisters, so like little Frances Gummer was out there bucking and stomping on those floorboards. She would have got picked.
Yeah,
if it was Judy. Although they were looking for a blonde.
They were looking Alana Turner, same thing.
Right.
As at a fountain shop in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Or you had a mom who was interested. That's the problem too, is Pearl's mother was not interested in, it was not eyes on the prize like Pearl.
Yeah.
So she had to go.
Yeah. It's interesting, the setups and payoffs, especially when they start off with X, right? And Ty West and Mia are just like having lunch. Just like, oh my God. All right, we got to figure out. And Mia's just like, I figured out some like sweet ass cool backstory for this bitch.
I got it.
And she's just like telling him all this stuff. And he's like, well, fuck me. And just starts writing it down, But being able to like in the moment start to say, and that's why she's like so obsessed with Maxine, because Maxine is a blonde, right? And I don't know, maybe these are just these little things that they're just coming up with. Right. And
100%.
And it's just so much fun, especially to what I would say maybe, I don't know, would X and Pearl be the most fun to watch back to back? I don't think you need to watch all three.
That's kind of how I feel. I'm interested to see maybe, because I like Maxine a little better than X, how Pearl and Maxine, but you're right. I guess you'd have to do it in order.
Because X is the end of Pearl's story, and right? Like she is.
Well, kind of also looking at the visual progression of the farm from being dilapidated to looking brand new.
Yeah.
But you kind of mentioned about, can we trust everything that we're seeing in Pearl of actually being reality? That is this all just kind of filtered through Pearl's kind of weird view of the world? I don't know.
Yeah, she's an untrustworthy narrator. So she's not narrating her story, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's true. But still, I feel like, I think the ideas of this, what Scarecrow looks like that, right? Like that. If I saw that Scarecrow, would scare the shit out of me. That looked like a person. So I think, 100%. It is this kind of stylized, and again, like we were saying, the colors are so vibrant. Her red dress is so like against the barn. That image when Mitzi is just like, all right, fuck this, I gotta go home, walks outside, and then
Pearl walks outside,
she turns
with the axe.
around and Pearl walks outside and picks up the axe. You're just like, all right,
she's
here we go.
Walking, and then here
we go. Pearl will return.
We've hit full camp at that point. We've taken off and sailed into camp at that point.
Yeah. But I think just everything, the color scheme, the dancing girls, all that stuff kind of show that are maybe we're in kind of Pearl's like psychotic.
Yeah, I mean the audience, the corpses in the audience watching her, I think it's all. Who knows too if even what's in Pearl's head? I honestly, and in certain ways, like I've seen it now too many times. So I'm just thinking things like maybe that if like the relationship with the dad is weird, that the way she's so sexual with him has something to do with perhaps what happened to do with before. There were some things that you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of that, but ultimately, sometimes people are just murderous.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Sometimes.
That's true.
They've got an itch they need to scratch.
Yeah.
I think that's the camp of it. That's fun. The same with Aunt Gladys of like, she wants to eat children and stay young. Yeah. I mean, like, do we need more of a reason?
She's the storybook witch.
Yeah.
The storybook witch.
Yeah.
Pearl wants to be a star. Don't get in her way. Norma Jean would have done the same thing.
Maybe she did. We'll never know. She was the blonde. She didn't
it would have been fun to see Marilyn in a star vehicle like this. It would have been good for a career.
I don't think, I think to me you need, this is what I love about this movie too is this is like a 90s actress role. This is a Feruza.
Oh, absolutely.
This is
Yeah.
Christina Ricci. You know, this is Winona.
Yeah.
You need a certain off-kilteredness. This is not Rachel McAdams, although she'd be great in any. But you know what I mean? Like, there's something about Mia Goth, and I think that's what I love about her too, is she harkens back to that. She could have, you know, led The Craft. You know, I think that she's just got that interesting I guess maybe there are some actresses out there now like that, but certainly in terms of the top tier movie stars, they're not like Natasha Lyonne, like Christina Ricci, you know? I feel like Mia's really the only one, to be honest with you, that's got that quirkiness. Love the big stars, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, but they're like movie stars. It's a little different, you know?
Right.
It makes sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She's credited in this Marvel Blade movie, but I feel like
she's going to be the witch. She's the bad guy.
Yeah, but is this movie
that movie's
is this movie happening? I don't know if it's happening anymore.
Do you know who she's playing in the Odyssey? Is she playing one of the sirens or the?
I think Charlize is Cersei is like the main siren. So I'm hoping she's playing one of like Cersei's, like one of the sea witches. But I don't know. They said her name, but I don't remember like what it meant, what it exactly is.
The Melantho is an insolent and disloyal maidservant in Homer's Odyssey, known for abusing the disguised Odysseus and having an affair with the suitor Eurymachus. So she's at home with Annie.
With Anne.
Yeah.
Pete always groans when that trailer comes on at the movies. I'm excited for it.
Any trailer that a theater full of white straight dudes clap for at the end of, I don't know how on board I'm with.
Also, historically, they didn't knock it on its side and carry it in like that. It was on like a roll, like on that kind of. I'm so bad at it. You know what I mean? Like a triangle, like a kid's toy. That triangle that rolls forward. You know what I like? That's a little annoying. I'm undecided with that. I think.
Well, the big trailer that we saw was the Trojan Horse, and it was just a battle scene, and it was just this like, you know, that like rising crescendo of this musical note that was really grating on my like already overly anxious.
Well, that's an all Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah, but it was cool.
Exactly.
It was a lot.
Exactly.
But
like a confusing plot and 3+ hours too long. It's like, what are the touchstones of a Christopher Nolan movie? You know, I'm happy for Mia though. I'm really happy for her, and I think that the best thing about Pearl 2 is that the A-list took notice of her from it, and like, you know, I'm hoping that the crazy is good crazy and not is that
self-sabotage and crazy maybe.
Yes. Like it's just the work still stays, and the, you know, I weirdly for Shia, I thought the work was always great during all the craziness too, until everything came out and then it was like too much. But you know, we'll see. We'll see.
She was cast in this new Star Wars movie. It's the role that was offered to Mikey Madison.
Interesting.
That movie is showing that it is currently in post-production, so that's expected.
She's been busy
in May of 2027. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of images from the movie, but she's not in any of them.
I bet you she's going to work with Del Toro again too.
They
seem to really love each other. You know.
Yeah.
I loved Frankenstein. I think that she was kind of window dressing in it, but I really loved it. And she was gorgeous window dressing, and that's, you know.
Yeah.
Showing casting directors you can do elegant things.
Very beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns.
You know?
Listen, throw that...
Again, to bring it back to... Oh, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, throw that little nose prosthetic on her, and she was a different person. We 100%. Were just like, oh, holy cow, who is that lady? Oh, it's Mia.
And now she's known for playing 2 roles per film, so you get
there you go.
Your money's worth.
That's her new gig.
Her new thing. I think she's got a bright career ahead of her, and I think this movie is a perfect, like, origin story, quirky, comes out of the pandemic, the stories around it. I just think it works on so many levels that perhaps everyone who made it didn't know it was going to work on. You know?
Yeah, so it is so interesting that I think, like I said, I think they just were like, okay, we're in the throes of the pandemic. New Zealand is the last place on earth that they can they still had to do COVID protocols and all that, but it's essentially one giant, but what did they call those, bubbles or whatever? That we were supposed to be in. Our little polycules that we were supposed to be in so that we could have dinner parties with like two friends. But it was just kind of this perfect storm of circumstances to make this little movie. And I don't know. I love a movie where the cast list is like 4 people on screen and that's it. You know, you're just like, that's the whole thing. But you didn't feel like, it doesn't feel closed in. It doesn't feel like it's a play.
And the other big COVID experiment was Malcolm and Marie. Oh, geez, and we saw how that turned out.
Yeah.
Which was...
this doesn't...
Go ahead.
You go. I was just going to say, this doesn't feel closed at all. It feels open and expansive, like her crazy mind.
Yeah.
You know? It's only closed off and her tight when she's with her mom.
Yeah. But I'm interested to attempt to rewatch The Innkeepers because I remember loving the trailer and starting to watch the movie and going like, okay, this seems like it's going to be really a fun ride. And then just kind of getting this like underwhelmed kind of feeling from it.
I've never seen it.
I know you've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Actually, we should talk to Ashley about it because she's seen it.
Yeah, Ashley from Keep It Weird's a big fan. You know what is in pre-production? I actually thought it's been shot. I'm seeing pre-production, but Ty West is doing a Christmas Carol that's coming out later this year with Johnny Depp.
Oh, how about that?
Sam Claflin, Daisy Ridley, Ian McKellen, Andrea Riseborough's in it. So,
theater, TV,
movie,
interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no, I think it is. Okay. I think it is filming. I'm
Ebenezer: A Christmas Carol.
I'm seeing production photos.
Yeah, there's images.
Okay.
Oh, this looks crazy.
Oh, Andrea Riseborough is a ghost in it.
It looks like she's Christmas past.
I love it. Wow. I still stand by. I'm more excited to see what Mia's doing next than Ty West,
right.
But I am not going to hate on it, and maybe I need to see Innkeepers too. And I think that I will expand my horizon. But I certainly left this movie wanting to see more of Mia Goth.
Like I mentioned at the top of the show, I really enjoyed this movie in the second viewing. I think that there's a lot of moments in this movie that I really could appreciate on a second viewing, and they were both Mia Goth. I mean, clearly, the big monologue at the end, I think really stuck with me in this viewing. That I think that I fully listened to the scene and kind of paid attention a little more, and I wasn't probably looking at my phone. That I just could really focus on the great work Mia was doing there. So, yeah, Pete, I would recommend revisiting this movie in a little bit, that you might like it a little more.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely did.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself more than I thought that I was going to, because I was ready to be like overrated or underwhelmed, but no, I did enjoy myself. And I mean, I think Mia Goth's performance is kind of undeniable, and I think the direction was fairly good. At least the production design for me was definitely a standout. I just think visually the movie looked so great.
Yeah.
I mean, we streamed it from Apple and on our TV. It looked amazing. So I really give that a lot, because a lot of movies these days are not looking as good as this,
and aren't original.
Ooh, those
aren't featured strong female characters like this.
Those,
you know what I'm saying?
That meme that's been going around of the comparing the shots from The Devil Wears Prada and The Devil Wears Prada 2, and just sort of what has digital done to movies.
Yeah.
The Devil Wears Prada, these very vibrant film, and the second image from the second movie is just kind of this flat nothing image.
Well, I mean, when one battle after another is literally turning giving the kids heart palpitations because they're just not used to seeing film, and I mean, I hear it, and yeah. Does it matter? I guess. Oh, that's a whole nother conversation. Like where's it being watched?
Right.
Does it matter? You know, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it on the laptop on the edge of your bed?
On the phone?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff that we always are just like, come on, these movies. I mean, not to go too crazy with like these, you know, need to see them in IMAX, Christopher Nolan and all that stuff. But it's like, I don't think a lot of these movies are really meant to be seen for the first time on an airplane seat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Or on your phone, like Avatar
Yeah.
on your phone, you know?
Yeah.
100%.
I can't deal with it. And the kids watching, yeah, you know, maybe your laptop is, you know, the only place you can watch a movie. But, you know, unfortunately, if you can get a bigger screen, watch it on the biggest screen you can in your home.
Exactly.
You know, yeah, that's.
Well, I just say, and we got to support these. It's like it's original IP. Let's make trilogies about murderous, badass, like women. You know, like there's so much about that I just like. So even as I kind of make fun of Ty West, I respect the putting this kind of stuff out there rather than a lot of the derivative.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
And like I said earlier, each of these three movies is kind of taking from previous eras and genres in horror and thrillers and all that. But hey, if it gets kids who have not seen those influences to maybe go and pick those up and say like, hey, I heard there's a lot of Carrie in this and I haven't seen Carrie. Maybe I'll go watch that, you know? Not the Chloe Grace Moretz version, but
maybe make them discover Straight Jacket with Joan
Crawford. Yeah.
Joan Crawford.
Oh,
wielding and chopping heads off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I love any time something is referencing something in a way that may get people to go out and do the research, right, and to watch something that they may not have seen otherwise. So
yeah,
I like that aspect of it as well. So.
And I think because it's so hard to make and it's so hard to get the funding and it's so difficult for it to be successful and there's so few people who get to do it, you like to see people making movies who actually love movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that kind of
and
shows
you could feel it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And it's not for I like because it's not so scary and so like gratuitously violent. I sound like my grandma, but hey, it's the truth.
No, you're
I like
right.
that it's a little build up, and by the time it is the like over the top kills, it's like I said, sailed into campdom. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, get him, Pearl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we watched 28 Days Later or 28 Years Later, that Bone Temple, and I had to look away in some parts because I was just like, ooh, this is a lot. This is a lot. So yeah, you're right. If it's the gratuitousness in this does definitely lean into the camp, and so I think it's a little bit more tolerable than some of this torture porn stuff that's out
Were you
there.
a big Substance fan?
I love the Substance.
Last year? Okay.
This is
and that's
my
kind of
new,
similar
like,
to
double
the
feature.
Substance's journey or journey too as a movie.
Exactly. 100%. This is my double feature, my Halloween. It'll probably be a triple feature now. I will have weapons in there just because of Amy Madigan. You know, let's make some crazy original genre female movies. Like, I love it. The Substance. Yeah. That's kiss. Now that's a whole, I mean, that's a brilliant movie, like all around. This, is a brilliant performance in a fun movie. I would say about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I love it.
Was there anything else?
I don't know
that we wanted to mention about Pearl. I think we did it.
I think we covered as much of this this little
gem. I'm so happy
little
that
gem,
you guys
little pearl of a movie.
Yeah,
talked about it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Brad, thank you so much for coming back on. It's been a while since we've had you. Mm-hmm. You know, we got a friend of the pod, Dev, loves You From the Top, and whenever Gwyneth will post to ask me anything, we always would message each other, ask her about View from the Top, and we would do it every single time she did it, and she acknowledged it last year. That she at least acknowledged I made View from the Top. That's all that we wanted was just acknowledge View from the Top.
I love it. That's fantastic. I mean, she's an open book. You'd think she would just talk about it more and more. That's too funny.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, thank you again for coming on the show. This was a blast as usual.
Thank you so much, guys. This was a pleasure.
Yeah. And this, like Scott said at the top, this was your first pick to talk about this time. So if you have anything else that you're itching to talk about, let us know, and you're more than welcome to come back on once again.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Listeners, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with more show. Listeners, we are back.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for listening to the very, very end. Thank you once again to our guest, Brad. That was a great episode. Love talking Pearl.
Yeah.
Ty West for 90 minutes with y'all. But I think now it's time of the show.
Is it that time?
For another segment.
For the weekly rewind?
It's time for the weekly rewind.
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Okay, so
What have you been watching?
we just turned off the Traitors finale.
Yes, we did.
Before we get to that,
Yeah.
do we want to talk a little bit about Wuthering Heights?
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights. I always want to say Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering.
And you were pretty gagged when you found out what exactly Wuthering Heights is. Did you not know it was the name of the estate?
I never seen no damn Wuthering Heights adaptation before. I've never read the book before.
Which apparently, like, every adaptation of Wuthering Heights is like half the book.
Right.
Which makes me kind of interested to, like, read the other half.
I mean, I guess the romance is like the big bulk of the story, and then there's some stuff that happens afterwards.
I think that some of the framing device of the 1939 movie, I think, is maybe worked in to the story that's taken from the book.
Sure. So, no, I did not realize, and I think in the Emerald Fennell version, I don't think that it's made explicitly clear that Wuthering Heights refers to the estate, the ancestral home of Margot Robbie, and all that lot. It is nice to see that Wuthering Heights. It's nice to see a movie take place on my favorite planet of Eternia. It looked.
I kind of thought to.
I was like,
see,
where's
like,
Castle
She-Ra,
Grayskull? Yeah.
She-Ra or He-Man gallop up on their horse.
Yeah, they live above a bottomless pit on the way to Castle Grayskull. It was a little cuckoo.
I mean, I am perfectly fine with taking big swings when it comes to movies like this.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I think that maybe there's something a little stale about just doing a Wuthering Heights period movie that I like to put in some spice, so I kind of like that.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was fun. It was a fun take. Visually, very cool looking. I liked that they were playing with the aesthetic, with the time frame, with the era, things like that. All of that really fun, over the top stuff of, we're going to make the wallpaper in this room be an exact replica of her flesh. Okay, cool.
I found myself a little impatient with the first 40 minutes of the movie, maybe.
Okay.
That I think that it ends really strong. That I kind of got into it more after the first hour.
Okay.
That was just kind of me personally.
Yeah.
All the stuff with the kids.
With them as kids,
I didn't really care for. I am glad that I had watched the 1939 movie going in.
Okay.
That I kind of had a context of a previous version that I could kind of compare and contrast in my head.
Yeah.
Characters that weren't in the 39 movie that are in this one. Characters that they cut out of the book. Kind of going both ways. So I'm glad that I kind of I had watched the 30s movie on the Criterion Channel that week before that we went.
Okay, cool. You watched it like the day before, didn't we?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I enjoyed their performances. I mean, I'm not going to comment on anyone's age.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that it kind of. I mean, I guess that it kind of works.
Yeah.
I don't think that it really matters. I almost think that Margot Robbie is not really playing the character from the book, and I know how silly that sounds. of that this is an adaptation of a Bronte sister novel, that you're not even playing the character from the book.
Kathy. Chocolate.
You love a literary heroine just named Kathy.
Named Kathy. I was like,
oh, Kathy.
Her name has to be Catherine.
But I mean, I appreciate a lot of the aesthetics. Maybe not one of the strongest Margot Robbie performances, but I mean, it's kind of like Bram Stoker's Dracula, that there's just a lot of the set design and the costumes kind of upstage the performances. Sure. And that's not necessarily a bad thing in a movie.
Right. But no, I think it was really well cast. I enjoyed everyone. Hong Chow, fierce as usual.
Nellie, love that character.
Yeah, Shazad Latif, who I may remember from Star Trek Discovery, as Catherine's husband.
I feel like Alison Oliver as Isabella is kind of the breakout star of the movie. She's kind of the character that I'm seeing the most people post about.
Sure, it's a memorable.
It's the Oscar-nominated role in the 30s movie.
Oh, it's a memorable role. She had some great costumes, beautiful gowns. But yeah, Margot's fun. It's interesting to see this kind of petulant character that she's a bitch. She was always. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to go over that, but Kathy was always of her own mind. And being a character that they portray as less than sympathetic, even as a child, it's like, okay, how are we going to get on her side? And you ultimately are on her side. Through the
She's meant to be a flawed woman, too.
Yeah. And, you know, I feel for the look of the movie, for the vibe of the movie, maybe it did need a little bit of more nudity.
Yeah, I mean,
there,
I was messaging Callum from Once Upon a VHS about it, and he kind of said it had a very Ken Russell quality about it, but kind of coming off a movie like Saltburn, where I feel like Barry was really game to kind of go there.
Yeah.
That I don't think that Emerald could have got that from.
Well, Margot's not going to show us her
I was going to say, I don't think Margot or Emerald could have got that with both Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi.
Margot's not showing us her boobs. Jacob's not showing us
that butt.
His butt.
Yeah.
For this, should they have? Maybe.
I think so.
In a different era, you'd see that kind of thing. But you know, we didn't. We got what we got, and you know, I think it could have been a fun, interesting, erotic, you know, romance in maybe the 80s or the 70s. It looks like that, and it's fun. All in all, I think
not bad.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be talking about The Traitors. So, listeners, if you have not watched the finale, which we just turned it off.
Yeah.
So, if you have not watched the finale, we have not yet got to the reunion. So, if you're watching this season and don't want it spoiled, maybe stop listening.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, we're just about done.
Let's talk about The Traitors.
Traitors, I mean, what if
we've gotten kind of really into The Traitors. I got really into Celebrity Traitors UK. I watched it on the plane ride to London and back.
Yeah.
I watched the entire season.
Yeah, you sure did. And then I started watching that season on Peacock once we got home. And Scott, you were watching it again with me. We watched last season's Traitors with Bob the Drag Queen.
He was kind of our in.
Bob the Queen was our kind of reason that we were going to go in and say, okay, we'll give it a shot. We don't really watch a lot of gamer shows. We're not into Big Brother. We're not into Survivor.
We watch Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah, that's.
But I think that even
the
people that watch Survivor and Big Brother, I think, kind of
Z-list gamer
roll their eyes at Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah. So we caught on to this. The U.S. version of The Traitors is very different than the UK version of The Traitors, especially the celebrity version. These people, even though they're celebrities in their own right on the U.S., they're keeping this prize.
Yeah.
This is not for charity. They're keeping this money. And the dramatics on the U.S. version are, I think it can get corny. I'm like, all right.
It's a bit much.
Show us your faces. All right. Okay.
And even Alan Cumming, I think that he's won numerous Emmys for The Traitors now.
plays it up.
Compare it to Claudia from UK.
Yeah, Claudia's just like...
She's like, this is a job.
Yeah. Please leave the castle.
I'm disappointed in all of you.
Yeah.
That you haven't found a traitor.
But, Alan said, please leave my castle. And they're like, all right, Skeletor, let's bring it down a notch. And just how, like, ooh, and this murder is going to be so delicious. Shut up. All right, calm down, trauma. And then the level of anger that they have towards each other.
Everybody takes everything
traitor.
so personal.
Yeah.
With Americans.
And you're like, this is a game show.
And on the UK ones, they're just like, well,
it could be you.
It's like, it could be you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not suspecting you, so maybe that's why it could be you.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any of that on this American one, of kind of going for the least, the person who you suspect the least.
Rob.
Yeah. And then mentioning, well, that means that you could be a traitor.
Yep. No one ever thought
and
about Rob with
and
that
on the UK, when
little face.
anyone goes home, they're just like...
Yeah. They get upset because they're not doing a good job of finding traitors on that series. But
it's more like it's a game show.
Yeah. So, here on this season, we Johnny and Tara were standouts for me this season. Love them
Who were
as a
standouts
duo.
that I really like. I really like Johnny and Tara. They were kind of a slow burn, but I think that they finished really strong.
Yes.
I think that you would have had to have been a complete dummy to not know those two had an alliance going in from day one.
Yeah, they're two trying to play it off like, I know we've been keeping it a secret and hiding it, but we are sissy besties. It's like, no shit. You like literally host the figure skating for the U.S. Olympics and have for the past God knows how many years. These people forgot, apparently. Rinna was fun.
If you're going to book Rinna, make her a traitor.
Yeah. Until she forgets how to be Lisa Rinna.
Yeah.
Because she's a traitor.
And, that's something that one guy from the UK, who's kind of a loudmouth. Like, I think that he's just like a notorious kind of, when he does interviews, like he's not afraid to express an opinion. He was himself the entire show.
Steven?
Not Steven, Jonathan.
Oh, sure.
So no one was like, you're being awfully quiet today.
Right.
You're usually kind of opinionated about all of this.
And he would talk first at roundtables and all that stuff, which
it's something that Lisa probably should have done immediately.
She absolutely should have, especially since she's Lisa goddamn Rinna. She should have known better. Monet didn't last as long as we thought.
I didn't think Monet would last. When I knew Monet was going to be on season 2, I kind of knew Monet's going in the first 5 episodes.
Yeah. Monet the Queen. But yeah, I mean, we both kind of did not know Rob from Love Island.
We don't watch Love Island. And I think that Moira, she's from Love Island UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Moira, we also did really like.
I mean, what's really interesting about this type of reality show, I think especially us, that we watch a lot of competition reality shows. This is probably a really fun show to produce.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you can you can try to steer the direction of the story as much as you want, but it's kind of the contestants dictating where it's going to go. I don't think any of us knew that Moira would be the last standing.
Right.
But it makes
not at all.
total sense because the traitor is going to latch on to someone who's bad at the game. I don't want to call her a dummy. It's like I want to give Moira a little more like respect than that.
No. Yeah.
She seems very adorable, but maybe just was not particularly that strong of a player at trying to find
several times
traitors. Why am I still here?
What am I doing?
Yep.
I'm so bad at
But
this.
you know what, girl? I get it because it's like Rob. It's a very handsome looking dude. So I 100% kind of falling for that asshole.
I trust
hook, line, and sinker. I get it.
He's telling me every day of the week, like, all right, Rob, you got it to the end. Peaky swear. Again, we didn't watch Love Island, so I'm not sure what kind of just guy he is when money's not at stake, but it seems like he's just a kind of like...
I don't even know what the hook of Love Island is. Is it like Bachelor in Paradise?
I have no clue.
Do they pair them off and it's like the last couple standing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have coworkers that love it. Your mom
Everybody
loves
loves
Island.
it. Yeah. Love Island is one of those shows that has like 1 million episodes per season.
Yeah, it's like multiple per week. That's what made me kind of not want to watch it.
Yeah,
because it would be too hard to catch up on.
Time for this. Yeah.
Any other standouts? I think Dorinda looked like she was having fun.
Sure. She got to last a little bit longer. Good for her.
Donna Kelsey looked like she was having fun. I mean, I think realistically, a 72-year-old woman, I mean, she's got to go home early.
Yeah.
And Donna looked like she was having fun. She got to be on her favorite show.
Yeah, yeah. Colton Underwood in his like Golden Girls era.
Yeah. I mean, Colton Underwood was getting kind of a hard time with the viewers. I mean, I think
he played a good game, though.
I think he played a good game. Like
Yeah,
he was
flushing
doing
people out.
He was doing what was assigned.
Yeah, he was
so
flushing
it's like,
people out. So
you don't want to give him too hard of a time because I think that he was doing the role that he was assigned.
Yes, yes. Oh, the other thing about the UK show is that they just wear clothes.
Yeah.
They dress so stupid.
I saw
on this show.
I saw a few funny memes of Natalie Anderson from The Amazing Race when she came down to breakfast in that dress that she looked like she had gone out to the club the night before.
Yeah,
and she
didn't
wanted
make
to,
it home.
She wanted to hit up that breakfast buffet.
Yeah,
before she hits it.
She was wearing cat suits. She was wearing freakum dresses. She was wearing all this crazy shit just to go have breakfast. They dress so stupid on this show. Candace from Real Houses of Potomac. Come on, Mama, you are 47 years old. You are dressing like Cher from
Candace
Clueless.
is 38.
Okay, you're 38 years old.
Rob is 26. He's the youngest cast member.
Rob is very young. I noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, his thing says 27 on his wiki, but maybe this, yeah, because his birthday's in September, so this might not have been updated. This
Okay,
wiki page. So, I think it's just so funny the outfits that they wear.
We love Moira's wigs.
Moira's wigs
because
are crazy. They don't
Monet
get their
said in a
glam.
podcast that they can't come with glam.
Nope.
So all of these women have to do their own hair and makeup.
Yeah, and you can tell on some of them.
Maybe for makeup they could get someone on set that could maybe do it.
I don't
know. Well, and
Yeah.
also stuff that films in the UK, you're working with a completely different guild or like the certain people that can come on sets too. So
Right.
I don't know. Maybe that's kind of this show's deal.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I just think it's so funny how they all just feel this need to like break out these outfits, and they just I think they look so over the top. They look like they're wearing costumes. It's crazy. And Rob's just coming out in like sleeveless t-shirts and sweater vests with no shirt
he's
underneath.
the king of overalls and no shirt. Like
Yeah.
he's on the farm catching snakes.
Yeah.
I've been following his Instagram, and he loves to go out and catch snakes.
I mean, all right. And we're just going to have sweet tea and listen to the bullfrogs on the porch as Rob Roush regales us of tales of going to school with every grade in one classroom.
I mean, Justin Ellison, I mean, they're both from Alabama.
Oh.
I think that Florence, Alabama is probably close to where Justin's from.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, we've been thinking that Rob was going to sweep the season, and he did.
I mean, it came close. I think that Tara and Johnny put up a really good fight. And I think Tara's arc is so interesting on the show, kind of going from someone who never got anything right, but at the end of the series, she got it right.
Well, so did Johnny. Johnny walked out of there saying,
they both got it right.
It's Rob and Eric.
And they went home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least they had that they were the ones that could say that they knew who the traitors were at the end.
Yeah, they
cracked
it.
They figured it out.
I mean, they walked out knowing a little bit more than Maura. Eric got gooped, but this is a theme on this kind of show with these gamers, these pro gamers, that these big dogs, like they call them in the UK, latch themselves onto a weaker player.
Yeah.
and say, we're going to go to the end, we're going to go to the end. And
Burn 'em
somehow
at the very
that
last
weaker
minute.
player never makes it to the end.
Because surprise, surprise, Rob did not want to split that prize money.
fuck no.
And you know what? I kind of don't blame him.
I love that he was like, am I giving $100,000 to someone I met 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
No.
I get it, dude.
No. I just met this guy. And as we've been saying all along, it's a game.
Yeah.
It's a game show. And them to breaks.
Dem to rules.
Dem to rules. People like Mark Ballas, people like Kristen Kish don't have a lot of screen time at the beginning.
Sure.
Because it's given to people like Colton. It's given to people like, the traders.
Michael Rappaport, who sucks the air out of the Okay,
room.
so I've never seen the show when everybody votes at these. They know that Michael's not a traitor. They just want him fucking
They
out.
just want him out. Yep.
Because he's wrecking the game.
Yep. So, yeah, it's interesting when people who are edited to be quiet in the first few episodes are not actually quiet. It's hard to cut through the chatter. And so finally, when Kristen started getting a voice on the show, when Mark started getting a voice, they started having, opinions and things like that. So it happens a lot. When the focus is on Ron and Michael Rappaport just coming up with weird, very Trump, very alliteration and rhymes and name calling and all that. It's like, what are you doing, bro? And I think that's what turned people off a lot. It's like, you're coming off sounding very like Trump-ish when you start making up the little Dr. All right, Mother Goose. All right, Dr. Seuss. Commiserating. All right. Okay.
I think that also on the American traders of really talking about the traders in the room, like you're a fucking terrible person.
Yeah. You're a murderer.
They do that on UK, but you can kind of tell they're being cheeky about it, and they're like saying it. Like when Celia says it, I'm going to find these dastardly traitors.
Yeah.
Like, there's almost like a wink in her eye when she says it.
Dastardly, yeah. But Michael Rappaport is like, you are a son of a bitch.
You are
and
a
I'm going to burn
fucking
down your
terrible
house,
person.
And your
I'm going to track down all of your family.
Your ball-headed granny and, all that stuff. Yeah. And it's crazy and it's weird. Still just a game show. But the Americans always just have to take it too far. They can dish it out and they can't take it. So we shall see what happens in the reunion. Maybe we'll watch it this weekend. Mm-hmm. But traders.
Fun show.
Yeah, lots of fun. We can't wait for the next season. Well, the next season potentially is going to be no celebrities.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's going to change the dynamic. Yeah. We'll see.
I don't like to see normal people get gooped on national television.
They're
celebrities, they can take it.
Out of hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Scary.
Like Moira is a beautiful woman that will have many opportunities from this show.
Yeah.
She will do just fine.
She's going to be a presenter with that crazy accent. So yeah. But I think that does it. I'm going to wrap it up for the rewind. All right, sounds fun. But you know what that means? I think that it is now time. Now it's the time of the episode. We do our Patreon shout-outs.
Yes.
So let's do some of those. We're going to say a great big hi there and hello to all of our wonderful patrons over on patreon.com/movies that made us gay, starting with Lisa W., Jonathan, Christine C., another Jonathan. This is Jonathan P. The first one's Jonathan Y. Teresa, Robbie, RP, Callum, Chava, Kitch, Barbie, Clubhouse, Ronnie, Matt, Carla, Leah, Megan, Andrew, Stephen, Leah, SB, Brian, Deja, Amy, Erica, Anna, our friends at How Do You Drew, Andy, Kate, Roberto, Daisy, Kelly, Chrissy, Laura, Garrett, Thomas, Lori, Brenna, Lawrence, Lisa, Alexis, Thomas, Millie, Ted, Benny, Melanie, Susan, Paul, Jamie, Drew, Genevieve, let's see, Dawn, Josh, Aaron, Nick and Shannon, Christine, and Rufino. You guys, thank you so much for being patrons.
Join the Movies That Made Us Gay Patreon at patreon.com/movies that made us gay and get awesome bonus content. There, we have 3 levels of tiers from a thoughtful donation at $1 level. At the $5 level, you will get the TV shows that keep us gay, where we pick a TV show every month and talk about it. At the top tier $10 level, you will get our Watch With Us commentary, where you can watch a movie with us, put it on and we talk about it. It works as its own episode. And join today, and you'll get a little shout out on the main feed.
Yes, indeedy. So do all that. Thank you for all that.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave us a kind review.
Yes, indeed. Go over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review, give us a rating, give us 5 stars, all that fun stuff. Follow us on our socials. We are at Movies That Made Us Gay on Instagram. It is where we are most active. And you'll see all of our wonderful online content. If you'd like to follow our personal pages, feel free to do that as well. My name is Pete. I'm at Peter Lasagna on Instagram.
Scott Youngballer on Instagram. And follow my letterbox.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Until next week.
Bye. I'm a star, mama.
Bye.